everyone, and welcome to the English version of CTS Noticias 7-day newscast. Let's have a look at this week's most important news.
Since last December, the gates of Termini Imerese's Fiat factory have been closed, and what is left among the employees is just uncertainty. Since December, in fact, workers await the completion of the transaction towards Dr. Motor. For this reason, they decided to occupy the two bank branches, Unicredit and Intesa San Paolo, in Termini Imerese. The laid-off Fiat employees, after meeting in Piazza Duomo, decided to continue the protest after they occupied the Revenue Agency office and Serit a few days ago. The related unions seek the implementation of the program to revitalize the industrial area and the closed factory. They claim immediate solutions for the revival of the factory, giving certainty to 2,200 workers, including 670 who were laid off. While 100 employees occupied the Unicredit branch, another group of factory workers occupied the offices of the bank Intesa San Paolo. The protest was conducted peacefully, under police control. The employees' wives also had their say. They sent a letter to the head of the Italian state, Giorgio Napolitano, calling on his help, to Pope Benedict XVI, the chairman of the Senate, Renato Schifani, and the governor of Sicily, Raffaele Lombardo. On the 17th of May, in view of the meeting between Minister Passera and Raffaele Lombardo, the former Fiat workers met at 7:30 a.m. in Termini Imerese with the intention of parading along Via Roma in Palermo, towards the headquarters of the Bank of Italy. But something went wrong. The Fiat employees were to depart on a train from Termini Imerese to Palermo, but the Italian railway service decided not to depart because the employees didn't have tickets. They therefore blocked the train station, and although the union stated they were willing to buy a collective ticket, the FS demanded a ticket per passenger. At this point, a big protest exploded among the laid-off workers, who find even a non-expensive train ticket to be a luxury, and they ironically thanked the FS for their support. The protest then reached the A19 Palermo-Catania motorway, creating delays between Buonfornello and Termini Imerese in both directions. The protesters slowed traffic and distributed flyers to passing motorists. The Ministry of Economic Development gave an ultimatum to Dr. Motor, a deadline of about 2 weeks to submit financial guarantees. Minister Corrado Passera announced that he also sent Dr. Motor an urgent request for clarification. Preparations are in progress for the commemoration of the massacre of Capaci on its 20th anniversary. This year, there will also be the head of the Italian state, Giorgio Napolitano, and the Prime Minister, Mario Monti, in Palermo to remember Giovanni Falcone and Paolo Borsellino, the two judges killed by the mafia in 1992. They will talk at the Ucciardone prison, which traditionally hosts the institutional demonstrations that occur every year in the Sicilian capital, on May 23rd, the day of the massacre of Capaci, and symbol against organized crime and mafia culture. Nearly 3,000 people are arriving in Palermo by 2 ships from Civitavecchia and Naples. On board, there will also be the Education Minister, Francesco Profumo, the National Anti-Mafia Prosecutor, Piero Grasso, and the President of Libera, Don Luigi Ciotti. A metaphoric ship will also sail on the web, with the launch of an ad hoc portal where students can upload videos and pictures. For the 20th anniversary of the massacres of Capaci and Via D'Amelio, the National Association of Italian Municipalities has given its contribution, inviting the schools to a day of celebration to commemorate the 2 judges. And 3 cities will be united through a common thread to Sicily on the 23rd of May, Torino, Pescara, and Rome, where the museum's night on May 19th will be devoted to the 2 judges, and the sign "Italy wins over mafia" will be displayed at the Colosseum. There will be many other initiatives this year, however. Falcone and Borsellino's values should not be emphasized only once a year. They should be part of everyone's daily life, so that you can live 365 days a year dedicated to the law. a law named after Paolo Borsellino providing for greater punishment for the exchange votes offense. This is the proposal advanced by the Legality Project Foundation in memory of Paolo Borsellino and of all the other victims of the mafia, presented during a press conference by the prosecutor of Palermo. An initiative organized in view of the 20th anniversary of the killing of Paolo Borsellino and his 5 police escorts. The new bill was introduced by the president of the foundation, Gaetano Paci. The proposal came soon after the presentation on the 19th of January, which is the birthday of Judge Borsellino, of the 23 points regarding urgent maintenance to the new Mafia Code. In fact, the idea of enhancing the punishment of the offense of vote trading was created by Paolo Borsellino. The aim of the initiative is to solicit an amendment to Article 416 of the Punitive Code, which provides for the hypothesis of vote trading in political elections. During a press conference, prosecutor Gaetano Paci said, "The knot between mafia and politics unfortunately remains central, but the legislation that should punish remains inadequate, because it provides only for sanctions against political election through money exchange. But the pact is in reality often and unfortunately subject to favors, recommendations, and contracts. With the new 416, the conscious agreement between politics and mafia through a promise of any type will be sanctioned." The 16th edition of the Island Games, international sports competition sponsored by the organizing committee Jeux des Îles, is scheduled from May 24th to the 26th in Sardinia, where a delegation of 132 Sicilian athletes and technicians will take part. This year the event will be characterized by austerity, said the CONI president of the Provincial Committee of Palermo, Giovanni Caramazza, who spoke at the press conference announcing the Games, held at the headquarters of CONI in Palermo. During the meeting with journalists, the funding problems that raised fears were mentioned, given the difficulty that Sardinia's CONI underwent to find the resources necessary for organizing the event, which unfortunately also affected the Sicilian Committee, since it has to deal with cuts by 90 to 95% of the funds provided by the regional funding. The Sicilian representatives will sail out from the port of Trapani to reach another 1,000 under-16 athletes from 12 islands representing 8 nations: Portugal, Cyprus, Greece, France, Sicily and Sardinia, England, Croatia and Malta. 10 are the Olympic disciplines in which they will compete, including athletics, gymnastics, judo and basketball. There is hope for Sicily to succeed as in the past years.
Stay tuned. We'll be back after a short break.
CTSnotizia.it, your new, up-to-date online newspaper. Scroll down with your mouse to read the latest news from Sicily and the world. CTSnotizia.it, 360-degree information. You will also find regional notices, recipes, events, gossip, sport, entertainment, and much more. CTSnotizia.it is also a video-on-demand site, live radio and TV. You can comment our articles or send us yours to be a protagonist with us. We give this meaning to information. What about you? Starting today, CTS spreads out. Besides Palermo and its province, our programs are also visible all over Sicily. And that's not all. CTS is visible on the satellite platform Italica TV, channels 26 and 27 in USA and Canada, and all over the world on our daily news website, ctsnotizia.it. CTS, to be the first. The Sicilian Regional Assembly has announced that it has found the resources to pay the forest carers. The Budget Committee, chaired by Riccardo Savona, has found the funds, amounting to 121.6 million euros, available for the entire staff to start working, 18,691 units and 7,300 firefighters. Part of these resources were found from the remodeling of the RDP 2012, PSR 2011. In addition, there are unspent regional funds from 2011, through which the salaries of different groups of workers will be created. Thanks to the efforts of the regional government, the danger of a total block has been avoided, and the forestry staff has stopped their protest, said the Councillor for Agriculture and Food Resources, Elio Dantrassi, who added, "By working closely with Gaetano Armao, we are able to ensure the jobs starting from next Monday. To ensure their full employment," added Dantrassi, "along with Armao and Savona, we made a detailed survey of all available resources from now to the end of 2012.
Starting the 24th of May, the 12th cycle of shows for the Festival of the Two Seas at the theatre in Tindari.
Tindari is an ancient Greek theatre in front of Aeolian Islands. We organize performances of ancient texts from Greek tragedies and comedies, Latin tragedies and comedies, and also performances based on texts of the Renaissance, of the period in which the ancient texts are renewed and proposed on the backstage. This year we have two performances. Miles Gloriosus by Plautus is a comedy, Latin comedy, and Andromaque by Jean Racine, that's a tragedy. And the two performances are very easy to be listened by the public, and we have students of many schools and tourists and visitors in this marvelous part of Sicily. And in summer we have another cycle of performances all around Sicily in the Greek theatres, also Tindari, but also Segesta, Palazzo Lacrede, Morgantina, Taormina, and other important archaeological sites of our island.
It sounds interesting. How long will the cycle last?
Now we have till the 10th of June, one day one performance and the day after the other one. So we change the scenery, but in any case we have a scenery that don't cover the archaeological temple that's in the theater, so it's really easy. And there are 2 days, the 8th and the 9th of June, in which it's possible follow the two performances, one in the afternoon and one in the evening.
Starting today, CTS spreads out. Besides Palermo and its province, our programs are also visible all over Sicily. And that's not all. CTS is visible on the satellite platform Italica TV, channels 26 and 27 in USA and Canada, and all over the world on our daily news website, ctsnotizie.it. CTS, to be the first. ctsnotizie.it, your new, up-to-date online newspaper. Scroll down with your mouse to read the latest news from Sicily and the world. ctsnotizie.it, 360-degree information. You will also find regional notices, recipes, events, gossip, sport, entertainment, and much more. ctsnotizie.it is also a video-on-demand site, live radio, and TV. You can comment our articles or send us yours to be a protagonist with us. We give this meaning to information. What about you?
That's all for this week's news. For more details, please visit our website, ctsnotizie.it. Thanks for joining us, keep safe, and see you next Sunday.